Hey, Daniel Lopez here with Empire Business Law. And on today's edition of 1 Minute Legal, we're going to talk about how LLCs protect business owners. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Kind of did some pre-drawings to make things go a little bit faster, but think of this as you, right? Or the business owner, right? We're going to call him Bob. Bob has things that belong to him, right? So when you're born, you get a social security number. You might have things like houses, you might have a car, bank account, investments, retirement funds. Um, you might also have a business, right? Which we'll get to right now. When a business owner creates an LLC, right? And right here, we'll go ahead and we'll call it Bob creates Bob LLC. Sometimes we talk about it like if you're creating another person, right? So Bob LLC is going to have its own social security number, which in business we call an EIN. It's going to have its own money. It's going to have its own bank account. It might have its own property like vehicles, rental properties, right? Land. And those things belong directly to Bob LLC. Even though Bob might be the owner, those things still directly belong to Bob LLC and not to Bob as an individual, right? So the way you want to think about it is whenever you create an LLC, you're creating an entity that has its own kind of world and ecosystem that's away from Bob, right? So we're going to create a circle here, right? And what I'm going to call this circle is liability protection. So whatever happens within the LLC can't affect Bob. It won't affect Bob, right? That's one of the benefits of having an LLC. All of Bob's properties are protected. So let's say we have an angry person here. Let's say, an employee or someone who works for Bob LLC or maybe a client or customer. Something happens and they want to sue Bob LLC. They can only get things from Bob LLC's like ecosystem, right? So they can come after its bank accounts, they can come after its money, its properties or whatever. What they can do, however, is reach outside of this bubble and go after Bob's personal things. That's really important. It's really the main reason why people create LLCs, right? So now maybe something happened in let's say a rental property, right, or at work, and someone is suing, they can no longer go after Bob's personal stuff, right? Bob's things are protected, and that's essentially the main reason why most business owners get LLC and how that liability protection works, right? There are some caveats. Bob can't do things like commingle funds. Bob has to treat the business as a business, right? Enter into contracts as a business. But as long as Bob does those things, he will be protected because he is outside of this little bubble that we created. And that's essentially how LLCs protect business owners.